Yeah, good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. Can you believe 6:30 already? December the 22nd as we near Christmas. It's so close. It'll be Monday as it's about time to start Christmas shopping, I guess. It's about that time. I'm going to have to do something. Looks as though Santa will be traveling in some rain. 100% chance of rain showers on Christmas Eve and 60% during the daytime on Christmas Day. We'll do the breakdown for you as this gets closer and closer with that. How do you feel today? We are certainly hoping you feel good as we all get up and face another day. Yesterday seemed to go extremely fast. Could be my imagination as well. Pat and Jim Coker joining us from Hickory today. Sheila joining us from the great state of Louisiana. Matt Green joins us from Clarkdale. Terry says good morning from Mrs. Santa's workshop. I bet she's hard at it there. Chris, good morning to you there. So we're going to be a bunch of folks out shopping today. Well, that area in downtown Meridian, the Crossroads, that was hard to get into yesterday. Chunky joining us. Susan, how are you? Miss Mary, I always get this mixed up when I get into Cajun names. So I'm going to try this. Gradeau? Did I say that right? Mary Gradeau? Maybe? I'm not 100% the X's I get all mixed up there. So I apologize beforehand on that if I said that wrong there. It's silent? E-A-U-X means O. O means O. So maybe we got it close there. Long Creek joining us as well. All right, let's get a good word this morning as we go to Collinsville. We always need that to start the day, don't we? Here we are. Let's see what Brother Ben has for us today.
Today we continue our focus on the ancient Christian tradition of Advent. In Isaiah 9:6, we read a prophecy about the coming Messiah Christ. For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. And so we'll meditate on each of these names as we count up to Christmas. Today, we light the candle of love and focus on Christ being our everlasting Father. What a comforting thought to have an everlasting Father. However, out of all these four names that Christ would be called, this one is perhaps a little confusing. Why would Jesus, the Son of God, be called our everlasting Father? Is Isaiah telling us that God the Son is the same person as God the Father? No, that's not what he's saying. He doesn't have the Trinity in mind. Rather, he has the divine nature of the Messiah in mind. You see, the Messiah would have the same divine nature as the Father. He would be God in the flesh. That's why Jesus, the Son of God, would later explain in John 10, I and the Father are one. Know and understand that the Father is in me and I in the Father. And then he said this, whoever's seen me has seen the Father. So beloved, if you want to know what God is like, look at Jesus. Even in that manger, he's the perfect image of God, the exact representation of his being. He alone makes the Father fully known. Indeed, no one can come to the Father except through him. And when you come through Christ, you're not just given an everlasting Father, you're also given everlasting love. What a gift this Christmas and forever. Merry Christmas. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, Mowdy Cabinetry, and Parker Marketing Insurance Advisors. And if you don't have a church, they'd love to have you as a visitor. Drop in and visit Brother Ben and all the gang there in Collinsville First Baptist. Huge, lots of kids, and I say huge, that may not be the word I'm looking for, but a lot of kids attend that church. They do a lot for the kids. Jerome, good morning. Hope you're doing well. Beth Vick, Merry Christmas. Thank you. We appreciate that. Lake, Miss Debbie joining us there. Good morning from Crescent Lake. Hope yours is going well also. As we start looking at headlines across America, did you realize that women and crime is rising? Well, they're taking lead roles in this. And after reading this, I kind of understand why. Now, I can't pronounce the rest of her name, but her first name is Wanda, a.k.a. the little baby of crime. You know what she makes a month? $7 million a month. She just happens to be in, distribution of firearms, contract killing. She's also into human trafficking. She does a lot of things to bring in $7 million a month. Women, that's a growing industry for them. Scares me thinking about it. Y'all be careful out there. Now, I hear lots of talk about this drug. Ozempic. A lot of you, it's for the original thing, diabetes. But it also makes you lose weight, and a lot of people are on that these days. The FDA is warning that there's a lot of imposters out there, different versions of it that aren't the real thing, and they're warning you not to take these, that they could have side effects. It's not gone through the FDA and could hurt you. So be careful of that. We don't want anybody to get hurt over that. What was that, 30, 20, 25 years ago? It was a diet drug that wasn't good for your health. It could, seemed like I remember. Could be. This is sad as we go to Wisconsin. A father was pulled over. He didn't have a tag. A lot of other things that were going on. He sped off from the cops. He would flee, go down the road and wreck and kill his 10-year-old boy. How awful is that? Been better to have got a ticket and everybody would have been okay. California, we got news for you. We've got this in Mississippi also, as headlines across America show that a body was found in a trunk of a car. That happened in Jackson, Mississippi earlier this week also. Mafia used to do things like that, best I remember. Now, do you have one of these? I remember Dylan Ray was the first in our family that discovered this. It was quick. It was easy, called an air fryer. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Pretty popular now. Walmart sells them. Also, Target and things like that. They're recalling over 300,000 of these. Kohl's even sells them because of a burn hazard. Google that. You can get all the information on that. You may have one that there's a recall on. It's the Power XL air fryers. We wouldn't want anything to happen to you and your home be caught on fire because of something like this. 300,000 of them. Pretty serious there. Return them and get your money back. Does anybody remember the I think it was an NFL game, the Patriots. Yeah, it was NFL, to where some people got into a fight in the stand. A guy was punched and he died. 2 people in connection with that fight are being charged. They're not being charged with murder. It looks as though he may have had some form of medical, but was induced because of the fight. They're going to be charged with several different crimes, but not murder, it looks like. Involuntary. It could be a bunch of these. That's just bad. It's a football game. Is it worth fighting over? No.
It ain't either one I've ever played for.
Yeah, nobody that was fighting have ever played on the field, as Odie pointed out. Guy was 53 years old. That gets into where you could have some heart condition and things of that nature. They've also been charged with assault, battery, disorderly conduct. A few of the charges that are out there. But no murder charges. We look for that. I can't pronounce his name, but the little guy that is running for president that throws a hoop and a holler there. Ramaswamy? How do you say that, Odie?
Yeah, Ramaswamy.
Ramaswamy. I don't know where you got that out of that spelling, but if you say that's the way you pronounce it. A man has been charged with threatening to kill him. Not good. He's also threatened other officials as they make an arrest on this. And people like that do need to be arrested. You never know when they will follow through with such a threat this day and time. Tyler Anderson of Dover, New Hampshire, was charged with 3 counts of transmitting interstate threats. Shame, shame, shame. They've got you now as we look at that. As we move to other headlines. This is a big one. I read it and I thought, surely he didn't get caught up in a story, but he did. John Schneider this morning, Bo Duke, backtracking on what he posted. He deleted it as quickly as he could after he come to his senses. Biden does not make posts. Let's just be blunt about that. People from his staff will make from his Facebook page or whatever. And John Schneider snapped back at something he had put about Trump and said, you need to be publicly hanged. And then he realized, oof, that was not the right thing to say. He deleted it immediately. Will he be charged? We don't know. But people are urging the Secret Service to investigate this. He has backtracked and he says, I didn't mean it that way. You can't do things like that. Never be caught up in emotion. And it's easy. Somebody snaps back at you over a comment, and you make a comment here, next thing you know, you're in Facebook jail. Can't have all of that. This is a little bit more serious, dealing with the president. Now, we all know that Madonna made that remark when she was on stage not far from the White House when someone else was in there. Nothing was done to her. Will something happen here? I don't know. But it didn't need to be said. That's just, we have to respect the office no matter what. We'll see where this goes. See what all John has to say about it as the day gets a little bit further on into it. Let's see here. Nikki Haley still trailing Donald Trump, but they're seeing a ray of hope in New Hampshire. They're saying that she's 4 points behind him now. I'm not so sure about that. No. These polls, and they're trying to find hope within the Republican Party, those that dislike him, and anything that they can put out, they're going to. I'll hold on, and I'm going to hold my breath on that one and wait till the election. I don't think she's anywhere close to him. Let's see. Biden has been talking with the president of Mexico, trying to ramp up security. They do realize they have a problem. How could it have taken this long? The last president told them that there was a problem. He had a lot of things in order to keep people from crossing the border. They opened it up. We have over 10,000, and I'm sure that that is a small, small number compared to what really goes on. That's what they see. 10,000 a day. How many can you handle? How many people in that group are bad folks, criminals that are coming into our country? We'll never know because they're not being documented. They're not checking all these people. It's going to be bad one day. You can take that to the bank. That will happen. It's awful. It's awful. We see a drunk driver, and this is that time of year, and we've been posting them. The sheriff's departments in each county are doing this to where they list to where they're going to be for DUIs. It's one of the things. Why do they do that? There are drunk drivers out there, as we see a case here to where a mom and her teenage son were killed by a drunk driver. He already had 3 DUIs. He had no driver's license. He was still driving anyway. So it shows that no matter if you take them out of a car, they still go back to driving when they want to. But a mother and son have lost their child to someone who had no business behind the wheel. Sad. I've never been on a cruise. I know Odie and all of his entourage go on them at least 2 to 3 times a year. But what happens when you're on one? A Norwegian cruise ship was out, got into a storm, and their entire navigation system got knocked out. They've just been kind of floating along because they don't know where they are. How sad could that be? That could be rough. They'll send another mechanic out to find them and get it fixed before long. But, boy, that had to be kind of scary, wouldn't it? Doesn't happen often. That's one of the few times I've heard of the navigation system being taken out.
I'm sure somebody got Google Maps on there.
Yeah, somebody on their phone bound to have a Google map. Yonder way. Bow to port, is that what you say? I don't know any ship terms. You were a Navy guy, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know all of that terminology?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anchors coming up was not fun, was it? So, you had to clean the deck?
No, I was a welder.
He was a welder. He was never a deckhand. That deckhand could not be fun. I know there's a lot of you who've done your time out there, but boy, that's got to be tough there. As we look to other Bahamas, I don't understand, judges. This is another country. This is not from the United States. Linda Shiver, if you're familiar with that name, is allowed to return to the U.S. for Christmas despite facing charges in the Bahamas for a plot to hire a hitman to kill her ex-NFL lover. I mean, really? You can go home for Christmas? Just don't kill anybody. We trust you. Judges, I'm telling you, that makes up a lot of things that go wrong. There's right, there's wrong, and then there's sometimes judges that can't see it clearly as the rest of the world. Sometimes, I know, if you're a judge watching me going, hold on, sometimes the law is not written clearly. Sometimes the law is not what it should be. But a lot of times it's misjudgment. A mother has been arrested. This is California. Why? Why? She told her 8-year-old daughter to crawl under a train. I'm not going to finish the story. You know how this is going to end. She's been arrested for this. It breaks my heart. I mean, it shakes me to the core to even have to repeat something like that. Road rage. Boy, we see this. Indiana, somebody was shot near Fort Wayne. They jumped out of the car, started beating on the windows, and next thing you know, a gun is pulled. No one died, but boy, somebody was shot. Over what? Trying to get somewhere quicker? Just not worth it. Oh, don't get me wrong. I get aggravated at red lights, too, with people that do things wrong or they cut in and out of traffic, but never is it worth taking a life over or pulling a gun over. Brenda Lee, boy, 65 years later, still hit number one. We've brought it up a couple of times, but rocking around the Christmas tree. How cool is that? She's 79 now, recorded it when she was 13, and it went number one again a few weeks ago on the Billboard 100 chart. That's just truly amazing. She knocked Mariah Carey out, that All I Want for Christmas song. She took that number one slot there. Congratulations to her. One of those stories before you condemn someone, and I do not know the rest of the story. I just know it's a headline. I know that locally some pictures was posted over a restaurant here not long ago, and I'm not holding my breath on that one either. As we go to Columbus, Ohio, the restaurant shut down as they were accused. It was a McDonald's in Columbus, Ohio, for having a crack pipe in a McMuffin. Could it have happened? Yes. I'm skeptical. I can't get it out, Odie.
Yeah,
Skeptical. I still didn't say it right, did I? Well, y'all know what I mean on that. I'm going to hold off on believing that 100% there. Could it have happened? It sure could have, but we'll wait on that. We see that a plane crash yesterday in Georgia. Again, one of these cases of it was a private-owned plane. He was 60 years old, crashed. He died in the flight. We do hate that. We do hate that. Those things happen over and over and over. Now, it can happen to a major airline, but they are trained so much more. We don't know what went on here. Was it fuel? Was it a medical emergency? I'm not sure. But horrible condolences to his family. So close to Christmas on top of that. We all want peace on earth, don't we? We'll be right back as we'll do your forecast next as we begin this day. Already 6:47. We got a lot of guests. Michael Cassidy. Y'all seen this? A guy from Lauderdale, Mississippi has made national headlines as he took it upon himself in Iowa. They put in the Capitol now a satanic statue. Satanic. He flew to Iowa and destroyed it. He'll be here to tell you what he did and why he did it beginning at 7. I don't want y'all to miss that. Pretty important there. We'll be right back with your forecast as we begin this day.
Have a sleigh full of fun this season with gifts and accessories from Al's Garden and Gift. The spirit of Christmas shines in the Christmas shop with ornate and novelty-themed trees, snow globes, nativity sets, garland, ornaments, and more. Now 50% off. Unique accessories, gourmet foods, gift baskets, and certificates are perfect for holiday parties and gifts. Add color outdoors with beautiful blooming winter flowers. And it's the perfect time to plant fruit trees and shrubs too. Magical charm and beauty await your home this wonderful season. Merry Christmas from Al's Garden and Gift.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
As we look at our record highs and record lows, it was 1990. It was 78 degrees today. Anybody remember that? Yeah. Back in 1989, we had a low of 8 degrees. Have mercy, that was cold. As we look at the outlook for today, it's going to be warm. Nearing 70 as we see about 68 predicted for today. We'll get 67 in Philadelphia. May even see a little bit there in Columbus, around 64. Back over the river, right at 70 there, down through Natchez in those areas. As we look at Alabama, we see that Clanton will see 62. 65 in Tuscaloosa and Demopolis areas. As we look over to Auburn, there'll be 60 today. As we come across, this is what's happening here. Cooler weather right around Clark County toward the coast. Normal here in the Meridian area northward through most of Mississippi, as we'll see that Tennessee is a little warmer there. Storms are brewing. Rain is coming. As we look at our 7-day forecast, 67, 68 today. Again, right at 70. Down tonight around 43 tomorrow. Looks great. 70 for highs. You're out doing that last-minute shopping. But Christmas Eve brings in a 50% chance of showers. Now, as you get into Christmas night after dark, it will increase to a 100% chance of rain. Still lingering around 70% chance of showers on Christmas Day. It'll decrease to 10% there on Tuesday, and we'll get highs in the 50s as we go another week and move into the 2024 on New Year's Day, 52, low of 31. We'll look all the way through the 5th of January, and 30% chance of showers. Nothing horrible there. As we've got our fishing forecast for today, what is best? Chet tells us to be out there at 7 o'clock this morning. Looks to be good. It'll be good through about 9 o'clock. The wind's going to be coming southeast around 5 miles an hour. Now, as we put down the fishing lures, and those of you who want to be out in the woods with a gun, deer hunting, here we go. The best time to be there is going to be 7:15. Be there at 6:30 or so. You should be there now. Not too late to get settled because it gets good between 7:15 to about 9:15 today. That's your outlook on that, brought to you by our friends at Collinsville Meat. That's a quick outlook of headlines and a brief look at weather this morning as we begin this day together. Ooh, who's that saying they love a while over at Garden Gift? He's a nice fella, ain't he there? Adele, good morning to see you. Laura, Jim Williams, good morning to you. So many of you. Again, we've also got the chief. I'm not saying that Odie's in handcuffs right now, but they are sitting mighty close together over there. Randall Davis joins us from the city of Marion, as he'll be telling us about the Christmas program, helping out children this year. No matter where you are and where you're watching from, kids are welcome that need help. That's coming up in Marion tomorrow morning, beginning at 8 a.m. So many people have donated to this to make this the big experience that it is. We got more details on that at 7 o'clock. Join us, won't you, for the Scotty Ray Report with Scotty Ray and Odie. We'll see you in just a moment.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners.